Thank you, everybody. How comfortable were you at the beginning of the diagnosis and as it went on, telling friends, family, people that you meet, that you do have this disease?
Jane, can we start with you on that?
Well, I didn't feel it was necessary to tell people. I mean, just have your interaction with them and let life go on. You don't have to spell it out.
Did you feel like you needed to shield that from them and purposely not tell them?
Well, I didn't want to tell them because I didn't want it to reflect so that they wouldn't want to see me.
Yes.
I mean, I just wanted to be a normal person to them.
Very well.
Yeah.
I wish to compliment all of us, and I've made this point in our other meetings as well, that our sense of humor is still with us. We still enjoy. There's a difference between laughing at as well as laughing with. And if we use the with instead of the at, it's much healthier and more enjoyable.
Excellent point. Carol, did you tell your friends, your family? Tell us about how you responded to that once you understood what was going on with you.
I don't know how I happened to tell them, but they all know and they're supportive. But nobody was near us, so we don't see them very often. But it's not a big problem for anybody in the family.
Yeah. Greg.
I just say, I don't have very good memory, period.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much covers it. I'm not gonna cover it up, but I'm not gonna,
Right.
And most people over, I don't know, 70 or something have got it too.
Yeah. Jen?
And my husband doesn't want me to tell anybody he has dementia. He really doesn't, but I've told, I do good. My family and friends, they all know. But he does not want me to say.
Yeah. Bud, did you share this with your friends and your family?
Friends, no. I mean, everybody has their own situations and so forth, and I don't think you need to be, simply because you've got a problem, I don't think you need to be dumping that off on other people. You can deal with certain kinds of things. Your spouse, of course, and I think, just all the discussions going on, you've seen it with virtually everybody sitting up here. That's where the absolute needs to be that, okay, it's all laid out. There's no question about it. We don't pretend like, well, this really isn't going to happen, or it's really, we know what this is all about. And we don't need to focus on that. That doesn't have to be our focus. Our focus can be on what are we today? What are we trying to create today? What are we trying to do today? And there isn't anybody that can tell me what it is I'm supposed to do. I mean, and I don't mean that in a way that says, well, I have all the knowledge in the world, because that certainly is not true. But I think we can get over-focused on that stuff. We've got a problem. It's like when somebody when somebody got hurt in one way or another in the military and so forth. Yeah, they had a problem, and it was difficult for them to deal with it and so forth, because they weren't used to that. They were used to being able to be the guy that was out there and doing all the things and so forth. But the other people focused around them, and they didn't make a big thing out of it. They said, well, this is part of this, and we're all together, and yeah, you're a little bit different from me, and I'm a little bit different from you, but that's okay, because together we can get to where it is that we want to go, even if I can't do it by myself.
Excellent, and having you all up together is fantastic. Oh, I just want to say, and Mike, I don't have to ask if your family knows, because your son is sitting right here, so I'm sure this is not the first time he's hearing of this, and you described how wonderful your family has been through the process.
Right.
Was there a point where you didn't want to share it with anyone, where you wanted to keep it to yourself?
Well, we were willing to share it with the immediate family. And, well, then that family kind of grew, you know, the brothers and sisters of,
Yes.
you know, this kind of thing. So it kind of took off on its own. That the people that we knew, some of which we told, but we didn't go out of our way to tell. One lady said that, Jane, I think this was you, that you didn't really go out of your way to tell people. If it came up or if there was a reason for it, fine, but otherwise,
Just
you
go
don't
on
tell
with
people
life.
you have colds either.
Yeah, and before Bill, I just want to get Jack's thought. Did you feel you need to shield your diagnosis from your family?
Not our family, no.
How about friends?
I was not in a hurry to tell them,
Can you express why? Why was that?
because I didn't know very much about it. I thought it was wise that I got an understanding before I told people that I had X. Yet I still feel that way.
Gotcha.
So on this subject, what happened, I think within a community or an organization, this subject spreads like wildfire. You don't have to tell those who are related, not related in the sense of family, but they find out, they know. You tell a good friend, and a good friend says to a good friend. And I found that, and Jane has too, it's very comforting for people to appreciate that you're going through something. We don't have to put up a notice, but you don't have to tell people either, because they seem to like to talk about this kind of thing. Oh, do you know Jane? So I found that helpful that word gets out. It's the people that we know in Europe and so on that may not be part of a network and they don't have the word. And I've been quite open about writing to good people and saying, here's where we are in a positive way, and it's been appreciated. So we're quite open.
I agree with that. That's a good point.
My husband is also a retired physician, and he doesn't deny he has Alzheimer's, and he's not ashamed to tell people. And he feels, in a way, he says, well, it's an illness, just like anything else. It's like cancer, or it's like, Parkinson's disease. It's an illness. And so he's not ashamed of it. He didn't make it happen. He didn't ask for it to happen. And he feels if somebody's, if he says to somebody, well, I have Alzheimer's, and we're in a social group, they understand why he may be uncommunicative or not answering questions or talking to other people, sharing information, because he just doesn't have the memory. He has really no short-term memory at all anymore. So he's not afraid of it. He's afraid of the future of it for himself, but he's not afraid to discuss it. And I applaud him for that.
So can I pick up on that point? Hopefully that's part of what we're doing here today is to change that, so people don't feel they have to feel ashamed. But many people do, for one reason or another. Anyone here felt ashamed or embarrassed by this diagnosis? Greg?
I don't feel that way, but I just want to make a comment.
Sure.
The boomers are coming up. Bing, there's gonna be a bunch of us. Wow. It won't be strange.